Yay. All right, everybody. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
So fun to be here on this Get Well Wednesday with Kelly and Heidi.
That's us.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're here bringing you another amazing episode of our Get Well Wednesday, you guys. We always remember that we want to come in, highlight a topic that we're all dealing with, or many of us, or you might know somebody, right? The topic today we're going to talk about is each and every one of us needs to be addressing inflammation. But we like to come at it at a way of fun and like how you can implement something into your life and how you can make a quick change to feel better right away from an educational standpoint, from an easy implementation standpoint, and a having fun living life standpoint. So we're gonna go for it, you guys, because I think everybody knows that inflammation is really the big baddie, but people don't say like, oh, I've got inflammation. I can't lose weight. It must be inflammation. I'm not sleeping well. It must be inflammation, right? Like,
Yeah, we always just associate inflammation with joint pain, right? But inflammation is systemic, it's throughout our body. It's just showing up in our joint. And you're right. People don't say, I'm inflamed, I'm not fat. But that's really probably 8 out of 10 of the cases. It's you're not as fat as you think, but you are definitely inflamed.
oh my God. Okay, you guys. So we're going to give you some tips on some inflammation that you might start to think differently, that you can control this, and what you're doing to your body really is impacting if your inflammation every single day is staying balanced, getting reduced, or you're ramping it up. But before we do, let's just do a quick introduction, you guys. Say hello. We want to know who you are, where you're coming in from, if you're first time to Dr. Heidi and myself, but we'll do an introduction for those of you that are brand new. So Heidi, take it away.
Yeah, I'm Heidi Graceful. I'm an ND and I'm functional medicine certified. I've been in practice over 20 years. I come into the functional medicine realm from an athletic point of view. In my youth, looking for higher performance, stronger, fitter, better recovery, all that good stuff. And when I tried, I thought, you know what, I really want to do this with people, and because everyone should feel this kind of vitality and this kind of energy. It shouldn't just be reserved for high-end athletes. We should all be high-end athletes and really have a wonderful life and a long, wonderful life. So paired up with Kelly, that's what we focus on: longevity, women's health. And we hope to do that with you every Wednesday when we come here for brief talks.
Oh my gosh, you guys. And for those of you, if you don't know me, Kellie Lepsha, I've been a physical therapist for over 27 years in the health and wellness space. I've loved what I've done. And if I have aged, I really wanted to say, like, what can I do over the last 10 years of my life to age gracefully? And when I saw people in my family die early, have, early suffering, I realized that maybe it's a more of a lifestyle and a choice. And it's not just by accident that this person dies young. And I'm like, okay, so again, I was always like, what can we do to take control of our health? And one of the things that I think is really very, very talked about today, everybody, is inflammation, but yet no one knows like what to do about inflammation, right? And so as there's many things through our environments, foods, behavior, mindset, everything that all leads to what Dr. Heidi was really sharing in the beginning is inflammation isn't just around a joint. Inflammation, what we're really talking about is systemic inflammation throughout the body.
Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, inflammation it's not a joint problem. It's not just an area problem. It's a cellular problem and it's all over. But inflammation is the baddie. It is, everyone says, oh, I just have to reduce my inflammation. And if I take an anti-inflammatory, a medication, that'll help it, and boom, it's done. We have to get to root cause. We have to figure out why you have inflammation, not just ramp it down. It's important to ramp it down, but there's so many ways and activities that we can do, foods we can avoid that can help us not even get inflamed. So we're not behind the inflammation 8-ball, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, inflammation has to happen in our body. This is what gets a little bit skewed, is there has to be, whenever there's trauma or an exposure to a chemical or virus or bacteria, there has to be an initial inflammatory response. So we need inflammation to happen. We need it to be efficient and quick and optimal to seize the moment, stop whatever is happening and try to repair it straight away, or at least stop it from getting worse. Does that make sense? And then that should wind off, and the anti-inflammatory part of our cellular system, which is magnificent, turns on, and we get that inflammation gone. We get on to recovery and repair, and we become a vibrant, robust body again. So we need inflammation to be accurate and efficient, but we need it to turn off, and the way when it's supposed to turn off, when it no longer is needed. And the way to do that is through good diet, good sleep, exercise, and avoid the things that impact that inflammation.
Well, I was just going to say that's such a great point, Heidi. So before we go to kind of like some big, easy tips to get rid of inflammation, let's talk about what are some things that people should be doing on a regular basis to help not create that chronic inflammation, right? Like some 2 or 3 things that it's like, these are essential. And one of the things that you and I talked about in the beginning is this mindset and what we're bathing ourselves in of, happy, joy, bliss, awe, all these good things throughout. Like, how are you feeling? How are your cells taking it in? Or are you the angry, grumpy, fast acting, reacting person, and you're bathing your cells in this negativity? Because most people don't really realize that this mindset has any influence on inflammation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we think and what our bodies take on, because it's only reacting to the thoughts and intentions of our heart, basically. And if everything is disgruntled, negative, angry, it causes a constriction throughout our body. That constriction increases blood pressure. It squelches insulin. And so we have insulin surges. It causes us to have cravings for different foods, sugars, that kind of thing, not sleep well. So our mindset is really, if we have to say, where do I start? Start with your mind. Start with, what are you bathing your emotions in, your cells in, because they take on everything you think and feel, and you're in charge. Your mind just doesn't go run amok without you. You're in charge. You decide where you want to focus that boat of emotion, that boat of feelings, and get support around you to help you do that. But that's a great place to start, Kellie.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, if you guys were like, okay, I need to be more joyous or happy or grateful or whatever, how do I do that? So 3 things to consider is, 1, what are you either reading or listening to? If every day you're listening to somebody, you're reading something, fueling your mind in a positive way, you could be journaling, writing your gratitude, thinking about all those great things that you're so, thankful for now or thankful for in the future. And then something that is, very known throughout the world is whom you hang around with also determines that cellular connection and vibe. So maybe the group of people that you spend the most time with is always the complainers, right? Is always the, that, quick to stress, frazzled. So you take that on and you have to say, like, am I spending most of my time with that sort of a person? Or am I spending most of my time with other people that have this flow in life and ease and bring me more happiness? I just reached out to a friend the other day. We're going to have lunch on Thursday, tomorrow, because I was actually trying to get to my podcast and I accidentally hit TikTok, and what immediately pops up on like your For You page is this girl dancing. Well, I look and it's a friend of mine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I started laughing and smiling, and I'm like, that is who I need to hang around with, right? If the moment you had these blissful feelings, I was like, that is awesome. So it's pretty evident if the person you're with helps elevate you or brings you into that fight or flight, sensation, it. So
Yeah.
I would say those 3 things alone can totally help you. And maybe you're a person that's already happy. Great. Keep moving in that direction. But if you're a person that's that negative Nelly or always complaining, I would just say, check yourself and just say, I want my cells to be healthier and I want to reduce inflammation and I want to reduce my risk of disease. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to start making changes.
Yeah. Yeah. And find what makes you happy and go with that. So, you know, my grandparents were always really great about saying, keep curious, just keep curious and ask questions, discover things. Don't be afraid of going into a situation you know nothing about, because it may open your eyes, it may completely blow your mind and be an amazing thing, or it may be awful and you go, yep, not doing that again. You know, because curiosity most of the time really brings joy in that moment, like, oh wow, I didn't know that, right? I love it still at this age that I can still say, I did not know that. That's so intriguing. Oh my gosh, okay. And just keep curious, read different books. If you're into reading, keep the variety of the books, lighthearted, maybe teaching, maybe self-help, have a nice combination. If you're watching TV, again, same thing, have a nice combination. Whodunits, not just murder FBI things or the news. Watch comedies, listen to these, you know, something else, but keep it diversified. Our food needs to be diversified. Our friends need to be diversified. Our microbiome needs to be diversified. So does what we put our mind in, what we wrap our brain and our cells in, the diversity of good books, different podcasts, that kind of thing. If you're not into books and you're into podcasts, keep a different variety of them. There's so many out there and there's so many great ones to discover. Stay curious.
Oh, that's an amazing tip, you guys. Such an amazing tip. So Heidi, in this whole, you know, like variety of stuff, let's go to food for a second. And I was sharing with my husband last night. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course. We were watching America's Got Talent, I think. It was like on for a few minutes. So there was a group that came over from Japan, these 4 girls. They were amazing. They're all played brass instruments. They were really great. So the judges asked them, what was the first thing that you did when you came to America? This was their first time. And you know what they said? We went to eat
hamburgers.
Cheeseburgers. Yeah,
oh no.
That's what we're known for, right? So I'm like, okay, if we can give 2 or 3 hints on the best things to reduce inflammation, you guys, I mean, I know right off the bat, like out to eat, our fast food, because of the trans fats, everything it's fried in, there is nothing. I mean, trans fats is probably one of the number one inflammation things. So if you're like, oh, I eat really healthy, but you're always eating French fries, like you're stealing your kids' French fries, like through the drive-through or something. Right? I mean, trans fats are like horrific. Everyone's talking about sugar, white sugar, all of that leading to inflammation. And yes, that is true. But I don't think trans fats is talked enough about.
Yeah, you know, people go, well, I don't really understand trans fat. Where is it? And so forth. I just say if it's processed, if someone else is making your food for you, there's probably a trans fat in it. So minimize your exposure to fast food, pre-made food, throw it in the microwave food. They all have fillers and trans fats and high sugars and sodium and things like this that are not the best for you. As much as you can get more fresh food, pre-made, there are pre-made foods, or what is that? Hello Health, you know, that they send you the ingredients, but it's all fresh. It tells you how to cook it. That's what we want to avoid, is our exposure to all these ready-made foods. This is where the trans fats sit. This is what has glyphosates in it that are super inflammatory. The other thing is that there's certain things we know about foods that it doesn't matter whether you have a sensitivity to it or not. Like, oh, I don't have a sensitivity to gluten. Gluten in and of itself is an inflammatory food. So I tell everyone, you know, just really limit your gluten, because if you have any inflammation, it is going to fuel that fire. So think about these things as you're choosing foods, as you're eating, and keep that balance, right? You have a little bit of that. It's not going to be the end of the world, but have predominantly more fresh foods, lots of veggies, protein.
Yeah,
you know me, I love my protein.
Right. I'll just throw in one story because this just happened with our family. So as parents, right, we can only tell our kids so much. I just tell most parents, like, model, just model. And in time, your kids will follow. Like, don't just say, talk the talk. You got to model for them. So our son used to literally love to eat Takis. You guys know what Takis are? There's these like spicy, it's like a chip, basically. It's like this spicy chip, really spicy. And they're red, like, and they'll leave your fingers red, kind of like Cheetos leave your fingers orange, right? So he used to have some gut issues. So I used to say, you probably shouldn't eat as much of this. You probably shouldn't eat this. You probably shouldn't, whatever, right? But he's 21, so he's got to figure out his own food. He's like, Mom, did you know Takis are full of red dye? So we start talking about that, and he's like, blue #1 and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, did you know what? I don't eat Takis anymore, and all my stomach issues are gone. But he had to come to the realization. But you guys, food, we think like it's, eating what we want just because we want, isn't that bad for us? But it's leading to inflammation. It's leading to everything bad. So bathe your body with the right people around you, hearing information, right? Look at what you're putting in your body. It matters, because like Heidi was saying in the beginning, we need to have this inflammatory response to respond to stuff. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, you guys heard me, I got strep throat. My throat was so inflamed, but I needed to. It was protecting me in that moment. You sprain your ankle, right? Like, you need to have inflammation for a time, and then you've got to let it go away, or you're going to lead to this chronic inflammation that you're going to just honestly, one, start feeling like crap, but two, if left unaddressed, will lead to some other disease process in your body earlier than you want.
Exactly. And then you're treated for this thing, and then the medication for that thing causes another thing. And so it's a really kind of a snowball effect. One thing you can do also, and it's really important, is to take good, clean omega-3 fish oils. They're very anti-inflammatory. Most people don't get enough in their diet unless you're eating fish, sardines, mackerel every day. And get that in your diet. That is very anti-inflammatory. And it goes down the right pathways where it helps trigger the inflammatory appropriately, but then it really helps fill that bucket of anti-inflammatory so it can come in later and do that. So fish oils are also a really great thing to have in your diet in abundance, like, 2,000 milligrams a day.
Yeah. Yeah. And Heidi, I'll just maybe we'll kind of end with, a lot of people talk about like, well, what supplements should I be taking? And you guys, you all need certain things according to what your body needs. So there's not really like ever a one size fits all, but there is new technology out there today to activate these pathways and processes in the body to help us reduce inflammation, right? So, if we were all saying we're all fighting inflammation because of toxins, chemicals, parabens, stress in our lives, all the things, even though we're all trying to eliminate them, there is new technology of what's called NRF2 activation, which really reduces inflammation. And would you say that would be something that is safe, that many people should be activating their NRF2 pathway into helping with that inflammation as well?
Absolutely, because here's the research on the NRF2 pathway. You can activate that, but activating that little pathway triggers over 500 different pathways that are antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-parasitic. It just activates our genes that are already sitting there waiting to be used, waiting to be on call. And this is the trigger to do it. So massively important to get your NRF2 activation.
So if you guys are people out there that are already taking supplements, you're on medications, and you're like, okay, I want to add these two things, like what brand, what should I get? I don't know. Just message Dr. Heidi and myself. We'll help you with that, because each one of you guys is a little bit different and unique. And so just reach out. We're here to help, but you've got to just remember, how do you, one, live a lifestyle of reducing your inflammation, And then how do we address when you're so inflamed, reduce? Ultimately, it's kind of the same thing of living a low inflammatory life. When you're inflamed, what you need to do to reduce that inflammation. But again, if you want more, Heidi and I help teach women a lot throughout our programs that this is so key in your life, because as we all know, inflammation is the big baddie, and we want you to have the ammunition to live your life reducing that inflammation so that you can live life and thrive.
Absolutely. Love to help, love to do that. Another part of that is, as Kelly was saying, we're all unique. We all have our own blueprint, and that's called our DNA. And when you can work with someone, Kelly and I do this with people all the time, who can really decipher your DNA and help target how much supplementation you need, what pathways you need to support, where genetically you're pretty good. And oops, this is a little bit weaker, so we're going to prop this side up a little bit. This is where DNA comes in super handy. So it's not guesswork, right? Otherwise, we're going, well, I heard on a podcast that was good for me, and Heidi and Kelly said I should take that. Well, should you take that, and what's your dose? Let us really help you with that. But for now, get on your fish oils, get a better mindset, start clearing out some of the diet. You'll be way ahead, even just starting there.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, I hope this is helpful. Let us know down below, like, what was the number one aha moment? You know how Heidi said, stay curious. So what we were like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, tell us your number one aha curious moment from our time with you today.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next week, go out there, have an amazing day, and keep becoming the CEO of your own health. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye. Bye, Kelly.